It's your boy Evie. You're watching EVFamily'Ent. And if you like what you see, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, so you could become part of Evie's family. Alright, thank you Elena. We're doing Crypt, Bad Friend, official music video. I appreciate the request. Let's get it, let's go.
2:30 in the morning and I get a text from my friend. She said I need you right now and I already knew what that meant. See, me and this girl, we think alike. Too many phone calls spent for me to know she's thinking about her life and how it's gonna end. See,
I already have chills. And I'm probably going to be quiet for most of this because I want to know the story. I want to know what the story is. How is this going to be? And what is about to happen here? And where is the like, is it going to get, I feel like it's going to get darker, but is it going to end up good? Or is it going to end up on a bad note? These are all my questions. Right from
text from my friend. She said I need you right now and I already knew what that meant. See, me and this girl, we think alike. Too many phone calls spent for me to know she's thinking about her life and how it's gonna end. See, on the outside we're happy and we show it to the world, and we put on this fake exterior so the truth won't unfurl. But I know who she is, cause it's like looking in a mirror. All these smiles and cries for help and it couldn't be any clearer. So I pick up the phone and call her as she answers through her cries. She's hyperventilating, telling me that she wants to die. My heart starts to race and my thoughts begin to blur. We're 9 hours apart, but I'm seconds from losing her. I try to...
Okay, never mind. I already know what this... I know what this story is about. I know personally, I don't know how his story with this friend played out, but I know how my brother's story played out. My blood brother, y'all. So this one's gonna be a very, very deep one for me. Like my brother, he did this. And just before we get into the story, I want to just say, like when my brother did this, he did the same exact thing. He was calling people that night. But, and I've said this on a live before, but like when he was calling people, he knew that he wanted to do what he was doing. Like he was set in his mind. Clearly he was set in his mind, but you knew he was set in his mind because he only called people that he has not talked to in years. He didn't call, like, okay, I wouldn't expect him to call me, but he didn't call any of his close friends. He didn't call anyone that he knew would be right fucking there, because what I'm assuming that he probably thought like they're going to know if I'm calling, talking about whatever, because I don't even think he was talking to them about the actual situation at hand. I think he was calling people and just having conversations with them. Like just people that he knew was not going to know that there's something wrong. But if he would have called me and just been talking about random stuff at fucking 3 in the morning or whatever time it was, I would have known something was wrong and I would have been right there. Or his good friend, because he was a popular person. So he did it like he was, I don't want to say smart, but yeah, he was like, his mind was made up. He knew what he was doing.
In the morning and I get a text from my friend. She said I need you right now and I already knew what that meant. See, me and this girl, we think alike. Too many phone calls spent for me to know she's thinking about her life and how it's gonna end. See, on the outside we're happy and we show it to the world, and we put on this fake exterior so the truth won't unfurl. But I know who she is, cause it's like looking in a mirror. All these smiles and cries for help and it couldn't be any clearer. So I pick up the phone and call her as she answers through her cries. She's hyperventilating, telling me that she wants to die. My heart starts to race and my thoughts begin to blur. We're 9 hours apart, but I'm seconds from losing her. I try to calm her down and tell her what she means to me. Even though we're new friends, she's seen a side that no one sees. Told her listen to my breaths, I'm right here, please breathe. You got so much left to do, stay here, don't leave. The cries got even louder as the breaths got short. I told her listen to my words as I fell down to the floor. Stay with me, I'm here, let it out, it's okay. Just cry till you can't cry, no more tears down your face. A couple minutes went by and the crying finally stopped. But not because she did, because the phone call dropped. I called her back quick, just hoping I'd hear hello. But I just kept getting met with the sounds of those dial tones. I froze. What do you do in that moment? Do you call the police, or do you hope that she's over it? Get a hold of her parents and tell them the situation, just so they can pull her from college and end her aspirations. Leave it alone and hope it was just an escapade. Pray from a text from her in the morning saying that she's okay. Call anyone you know just to make sure that she's alive. Ignore it completely and pray to God that she survived. I let it go. She must have wanted to be alone. I guess that this was just another one of her episodes. She never told no one about this depression she dealt with. And who was I to air out her secrets? That would be selfish. So I lay down in my...
He said, who was I to air out the secrets? That would be selfish. And then in the beginning too, didn't Crypt say like, I knew... He said, he said that he has these same feelings. So Crypt obviously deals with depression. I think there's a deeper meaning to this song as well. It might be very straightforward because I know that I've seen that in the chat, but I think this might be like Crypt's cry for help, you know, like putting it out there of like what he's been dealing with or what he's been going through, and maybe put it in the song aspect of like, this is a friend. But he compared himself to her in the beginning of the song.
Saying that she's okay, call anyone you know just to make sure that she's alive. Ignore it completely and pray to God that she survived. I let it go. She must have wanted to be alone. I guess that this was just another one of her episodes. She never told no one about this depression she dealt with. And who was I to air out her secrets? That would be selfish. So I lay down in my bed and I rested my head. Closed my eyes and drifted peacefully to sleep. Then I dreamt that I would see her tomorrow and I would speak to her then. Till I was woken to several missed calls and texts that she's dead. My heart broke. She downed a bottle of pills. She took them shortly after our call ended, and it felt surreal. She was a friend of many, a student athlete at her school, a daughter, a sister, a very special jewel at the funeral.
Oh, he said a daughter, a sister, a very special jewel. Well, what was crazy with the other situation, with my brother's situation, is his girlfriend, she was pregnant. He didn't know that she was pregnant. We didn't know that she was pregnant. A week later, she found out she was pregnant. A week after he did that. So now she has a daughter that doesn't have a dad because of this. And then I also have another friend, someone I grew up with since we were 4 or 5 years old. She's done this exact thing right here. Now, he didn't do it this way. He did it, let me just say, the old-fashioned way. He did it he knew what he wanted to do type way. He did it the type of way, if you guys get the gist of that. But I've had friends that have done this, and I've actually been there to help them. I've been this friend that he's talking about, like Crypt in this whole picture. I've been that guy to help this friend multiple times. Luckily, she's still here at this point in her life. But I've literally witnessed this like so many times.
She never told no one about this depression she dealt with. And who was I to air out her secrets? That would be selfish. So I lay down in my bed and I rested my head. Closed my eyes and drifted peacefully to sleep. Then I dreamt that I would see her tomorrow and I would speak to her then. Till I was woken to several missed calls and texts that she's dead. My heart broke. She downed a bottle of pills. She took them shortly after our call ended, and it felt surreal. She was a friend of many, a student athlete at her school, a daughter, a sister, a very special jewel. At the funeral, they told us that nobody had a clue that they could have saved her life, if only that they knew. And if someone at the funeral had ever felt depressed, to get some help so that your face won't ever end up in the press. There wasn't a dry face in the room, only 22 years old, an entire life in front of her, and now she's laying there cold. If only I'd called someone, we wouldn't be here now, and nobody would be sad, and I wouldn't feel like I let her down. But that's not what happened, cause instead of going to bed, I called every person I knew to check to make sure you weren't dead. I stayed up 7 hours praying every second of it, just hoping to get a text saying that you weren't heaven sent, but then I got it. You told me that I had no right, and blocked me on everything, and we ain't talked since that night. Was I a bad friend? Options? I had none. I guess I'd rather be a bad friend than a sad one.
Fact. Yeah, and see, that was cool. He was able to make that, like, wrap that. I like that he was able to wrap that like that into a story. But for me, I obviously have a different outlook at something like that. So for me, I'm not really, I don't know. For me, like that one hits me different than it would a lot of people. They'll hear that and they think that and stuff, but there's a lot of people, like people that are very depressed like that, they know what the hell they're doing. If someone is at the point where they're going to do that and they've made it up in their mind that they're going to do that, they're not calling you for help. They're not letting you know that that's happening. That's not, or it could happen, but I know in my personal life, and I've seen 4 friends go through this, and then one a brother of mine, and luckily 3 of the friends are still here. One of them isn't, and then my brother isn't. But like, out of all those situations I've seen, none of them ever did it in a story like that. Like in the way that was, like calling to say like, I'm not feeling good, I'm feeling sick. None of them did that. They all held that shit in and then made up their mind. And then luckily 3 of them leave. Like it didn't work. So that's the only thing I have about this one. I'm not like getting on Crypt on this. I'm not an emotional person like that. Like I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, why would you make a song? No, I'm not doing that. I think this is cool that he was able to do that. I just have that's just my reaction to it, because I literally have a different perspective from firsthand multiple times of how that goes. But again, thank you, Elena. I appreciate it.